Okay, guys. Good afternoon. Just a couple of updates for you first. Injury-wise, depth chart-wise, just want to share a couple things with you that I can share. Some things we're still waiting on, some MRIs or X-rays or whatnot. But in terms of Gunnar Cruz, he will be out for the year, and he will get operated on his throwing thumb, and it seems like it'll be about a 6-month rehabilitation from what I understand. So it's a pretty significant injury that he suffered on the scramble, which was actually 3 plays prior to the interception for a touchdown. So we'll have Will as our starting quarterback, and Luke Ashworth will be the second quarterback. We have 3 quarterbacks in our room currently. We have 3 that are out for the season due to surgeries or injuries. So we've got Luke Ashworth and Braden Zermino is the other quarterback that's in the quarterback room. Jordan McLeod had successful surgery on Friday. Looks more like a January time that he'll be back. So we have to be looking right now. He got his ankle operated on. His knee will be rehabbed. And we'll end up having Jordan back probably sometime mid-January to begin. Keon Bars, Josh McCauley, Josh Donovan will all be, and Drake Anderson will probably all be game time decisions. I think probably less of a chance for Drake to be able to play. He has a upper shoulder, injury is what it would be. But Keon, McCauley, and Josh Donovan, we'll wait to see what that looks like on Friday evening. J.B. Brown will be practicing but not playing due to personal decision. Trey Hayward will not be participating due to personal reasons. So that's where we are with the depth on those positions. And then our tight ends, receivers, DBs, and specialists are all healthy. So that group will be ready to go. As far as our team is in great mental spirits. They're very confident in the second half of the season. We talked to our team about it being halftime, and that none of us have ever been part of a game in our lives that at halftime you don't say the score is 0-0. So the way we look at it is we've just finished the first half of this season, and it is now time to go play the second half of the season. We understand we got a huge challenge in front of us. The last time Arizona played UW, I was watching the game earlier this morning. We were down 37-0 to start the fourth quarter. So we need to make sure we come out, we play better football than we did on Saturday, and that we go out there and play our best game on Friday evening. I think Coach Lake does a great job defensively. I have not really spent a ton of time watching the other side of the ball at this point, but I know that every time I've had a chance to play against Coach Lake, whether he was in the NFL coaching DBs or at UW in 2017, they do a great job. And then finally, I would just say I told our team this, that we're playing with great effort. You could see the way our guys are running to the ball, tackling, trying to make plays offensively, trying to move the pile, trying to get yards. But just like Kobe Bryant, man, you can go out there and try to outwork everybody unless your shots go in. In the end, it just doesn't matter. So at this point in time, we need our shots to fall. That's why Kobe was so special. His shots went in. And at this point, we need to start getting some shots to fall for us. But I will tell you that I love our team. I love the way they're playing. I think it was 6-0 with 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. We had some guys open that we missed. We had some opportunities in the game that we all know of from the fourth play on that could have changed the field position, the game, the score, etc. But it didn't happen. So it's our job to go and do a better job of making sure it does happen, not get punt blocked, not throw pick sixes, and finish drives when you're inside the one, which we will do. And we will continue to build this program the way we are trying to, which is every single day going 100% and having a team that does the same.
Please raise your hand. Michael? So when Gunnar gets hurt during the game, how is that supposed to be communicated? Is he supposed to tell you, I can't go? Is he trying to tough it out? Should you be able to realize what was happening?
Yeah, I don't think it would have been. I think it would have been impossible to realize that it was on a scramble away from the field. And I think his thumb got caught up in a helmet. And I think, just as I said to Gunnar, I said, in that situation, you just got to go down. You just got to go down so we can get our backup quarterback to take snaps, and we can have a trainer or medical doctor take a look. There's really no gutting it out at the quarterback position when it comes to your throwing hand. In terms of, you don't really know. You need to have someone look at it first, and then we can make that decision whether or not this is something that you have the ability to gut out or not. But we just can't have a couple plays in between where no one really knows if you're injured or not. I think we saw the ball kind of bounce to Alex Lyons 2 plays later when Alex was kind of wide open in the middle of the field. And you're trying to figure out, did it get tipped? Did it not? And then the next play was when it got picked, and then he came off the field, and you could see where his thumb was located. So it was one of those situations that we tell our players all the time, if you're hurt, go down. Go down and let the medical team take a look. And then the worst case scenario is you're out for 1 play, right? Or the best case scenario, I should say, is you're out for 1 play. The worst case scenario is you're injured and you can't go.
Gunnar went after his thumb injury and came out of the game. He seemed like he was very broken. How's he doing mentally?
Yeah, that's a great question. He's doing okay. He's doing okay. Yeah, he is. It's a significant injury for a quarterback because it's on your throwing hand. And, he loves to compete in the same way Jordan was pretty broken, after when his injury occurred at 24-16 against UCLA. I mean, you feel like you just got hurt, and you feel like, what does this mean? And where's my future? And what's going to happen? And all those things, And I think he was just, a lot of emotion went through there. I saw him give some hugs to some of our players and coaches. I talked to him yesterday. He was in a good place, but nervous and concerned about what does it mean. And, it's a substantial rehabilitation. But, he'll fight back and be stronger for it, and hopefully have an opportunity to come back for spring football.
What did you think of the plays that Jamari was in those special packages, and do you think we could see more of those this week?
Yeah, I think with Alec, with Jamari, that we only had about maybe 3 or 4 plays where he was in there not playing receiver, I guess I would say. He was in there a lot playing receiver. We tried to hit him on a deep ball and missed on that by a couple yards. And but we ran a double pass or double reverse pass type deal, and he made a really wise decision. We were trying to hit Stevie Rocker up the sideline, and the 53 came flying through the B gap, so he had to throw that ball away, which was very smart. Not try to be heroic when you only feel like you have a couple passes. He ran the ball, I thought relatively well from we'll call it the Wildcat position. And, the other 1 or 2 was just making a decision to hand the ball off. So he was fine. Clearly, we have to find ways to move the ball when we're in a interesting position at quarterback. I've never personally been in a position where the depth chart is where it's at. So you have to be prepared, right? You have to be prepared for what if scenario the next time, right? What if you lose it? We have 6 games to play and 1 scholarship quarterback. So, we need to make sure that we can get Jamari maybe some more opportunities as well.
Rich, has there been any thought or discussion of moving Jamari back into the quarterback room?
What we'll do, we'll meet with him separately. I think that, his position of receiver is necessary for him right now, but I think that there's going to be some opportunities that we can help bring him along to be able to be serviceable if the time comes that we would have to do something like that.
How hard is it to have someone make that transition from quarterback to wide receiver, then ask him to go back to quarterback for the good of the team at times?
Yeah, well, I wasn't here for the initial, so I don't really know how long he was even in the quarterback room, how many reps he actually took at the position, how quickly that transition occurred. I've only known Jamari as a wide receiver, and unfortunately, most of the time that I've spent with Jamari as an injured wide receiver. So he had the spring ball injury. He had the, he was kind of coming back from a surgery, then re-surgery, then coming back again. So there's a lot mentally there just to learn the receiver position. But we're in a situation right now where we know, right? We've kind of trying to put a few things together here, and as soon as you start feeling like there's some good positive swing, we kind of got hit a little bit with the injury bug. And it's hard to overcome that when you don't necessarily have all of the foundation in place at this point. But I think our guys will persevere, they will battle, and they're going to try to make the other guys around them better, like our defense battled the other night.
Damien and Michael.
Jedd, when you're coaching 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and they find themselves in these, mental ruts because of injuries, because of things that happen, how do you handle that?
Yeah, we've spent, first thing I'd like to give a ton of credit to our sports psychology department here on campus and our sports psychologist, Dr. Webb and Dr. Clark. They've been phenomenal, helping our team with mindfulness, helping our staff as we continue to talk through, messaging. I also believe that our guys, they're young and they persevere, and we were able to show them. I showed our defense 38 clips yesterday that they played, which I would say was just fantastic football, of just chasing the football, swarming the football, regardless if the score was 3-0 or 27-0 at the time. Offensively, our biggest challenge that we talk about is doing things right and just saying, hey, if we do things right, we could maybe take out those mental concerns or start thinking ahead of what ifs or what happened if or what if this didn't happen or what do we do next, and just say, hey, if I'm supposed to run a corner route at 12 to 20 yards, I'm going to run a corner route from 12 to 20 yards, and I'm not going to try to speed it up because I'm not sure about if the ball is going to come out on time. Or, as I said, on a block punt, to Pandy, don't try to figure out what Seth McKellar is going to do, and if he can block the A-gap rush, let him block the A-gap rush, and you block the B-gap rush, and, everyone do your job. And I think what happens is when you get injuries or when you start thinking like, how do we get out of the rut? You start saying to yourself, is there something more I should do outside of my job? And that's our big message, is do your job and trust the process and recognize that we can all build this thing together. And as we're building this thing, good results will come.
Can I follow up with that?
Sure.
When you're talking with Gunnar, when you're talking with Jordan, and they find themselves in this situation,
Yeah.
what are you saying to them?
First with, I said in front of the whole team to Jordan. Jordan called like 8 members of the team and said, I can't wait for San Diego State next year. That was his mentality. I think that what happened initially was, hey, this is what happened. We can't really go back and change it. And it's now, can you win the rehab? Can you win the surgery? Can you win the off season? So when it's your time, can you find yourself ready to go? The gunner I'm going to have the same conversation with I had yesterday, which was these things are unfortunate and no one can control injury, truthfully. But what you can control is every day after that injury. And in your mind is, can you use this time to get yourself in a position where you're in incredible condition and you could work your lower body? Can you mentally get yourself in a position where you learn and know the offense in such a way that when you come back in spring football, your answers are quicker, you're able to make faster decisions, and for that, our football is going to become better.
Time for a couple more minutes, we'll finish with Michael.
So all of the struggles that are happening, how much of that do you assign blame to the quarterback? Uncertainty, ineffectiveness, inconsistency? I know we kind of talk about the position disproportionately, but how much of it is that?
Yeah, and we do talk about the position in such a way, disproportionate, but also appropriately, right? Because the quarterback position is the position that really defines the game of football. I saw a stat yesterday that the 5 NFL teams that have the most amount of turnovers are the 5 NFL teams that are playing with rookies. And it's, there's some amazing things that occur because of experience. And in our situation, as we're trying to move the football, and I believe, I think we had 2 3-and-outs again, and other than that, we move the ball, and we move it between the 25 to the 30 pretty decent. And then we kind of get in that the field shrinks. You need a little bit more experience. You need a little bit more understanding necessarily of kind of how the game gets played inside that red area. And I think, although Jordan threw a couple turnovers, I think his experience of playing in 20 games allowed us to get down in there and be closer. With Will Will now will say is that his job is to fast forward his learning so we could help him. And I need to do a better job, and Jimmy will do a better job of just saying, how can we make this position for a young quarterback as successful as he can be, understanding that there are certain things that are in his control and certain things that are not.
One quick question, Coach. What do you say to the fans?
We're in year one. Keep believing and keep seeing. Last time we played here, it was 14-13 at halftime. Last week, it was 6-0 on the road at halftime. The time before that, it was a 2-point game with 12 seconds left or 2 minutes left in the game. Come to the game, enjoy the experience, and help our team get over what I would say is a challenge, not an obstacle. And we're going to get there. Everybody does, right? Everybody turns their program at some point in time. We're going to turn it. And I believe that wholeheartedly, and our team believes it wholeheartedly, and they can't wait to get out there on Friday night. Come support us because there's no better thing to do on a Friday night than watch football. Thank you.
Michael, last one?
Yeah, Will seems to play pretty aggressively. He plays fast. What are some of the areas where he can fine-tune his game and improve his efficiency?
Yeah, I think, the aggressive part of the play, taking shots down the field and stuff like that, we want that. We had Tavion open. We had Jamari. We had those opportunities. We now have to hit on them, right? You hit on a couple of them, and it's like, wow, that's exactly what we're looking for. I think fine-tuning it is recognizing, you don't have to throw it 65 yards to hit on a 55-yard pass. You don't have to feel like everything has to be the hardest throw, the toughest throw, the greatest throw. There's times that you can actually just take a deep breath before you walk up under center. We used to tell Kyle Buller that, breathe right at the top of your drop and then play the rep. There's some times that you just want to kind of figure out ways that not everything has to be done in fast forward, and we can really help guide him and help him slow the game down. And some of it will become experience, and some of it will be just himself taking a deep breath.
All right, thanks, everybody. And just a reminder, we are filming something with coaching here, so if we can get you out of here as fast as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.